A United States Art Gallery Art Museum Guide. Chapter 1. Art Museums and Art Galleries in the United States. art-collecting.com has a list of art websites for US by state. Go state by state and also cover big cities like London, Paris, etc. art-collecting.com/museums.htm art-collecting.com/galleries.htm art-collecting.com/nonprofits_al.htm artcollecting.com/nonprofits_.htm U.S. art museums, galleries, etc. by state at vos.ucsb.edu/browse.asp?id =2643. A small list of links for some states, not all. Find over 700 art museums by state at aam-us.org/about-museum/find-a-museum. Go to type. Click Art Museum. Find lists of art museums in the United States by state. artcyclopedia.com/museums-us.html the-art-wordle.com/galleries-united-states.htm aamd.org, Association of Art Museum Directors, NYC. aam-us.org, American Association of Museums Washington, D.C. artdealers.org/member-galleries vlib.us/history/museums.html, Art Museums of the United States. Chapter 2. A list of specific United States art museum websites in alphabetical order. A list of American art museum websites. A/D Gallery, @editions.com. aarondouglas.ku.edu, Aaron Douglas, African American Modernist, Spencer Exhibit. abemuseum.org, Abe Museum Native American Heritage, Bar. Akron Art Museum, akronartmuseum.org. akronartmuseum.org, Akron Art Museum, Akron, O. albany.edu/museum, University Art Museum, Albany, New York. Albrecht Kemper Museum of Art, albrecht-kemper.org. Allentown Art Museum, allentownartmuseum.org. altmansiegel.com, Altman Siegel San Francisco. American Vaudeville Museum, vaudeville.org. American Dime Museum, dimemuseum.com. American Visionary Art Museum, avam.org. americanart.si.edu/index3.cfm, National Museum of American Art, Washington, D.C. americanart.si.edu/whc/index.html, The White House Collection of. americanart.si.edu/whc/index.html, The White House Collection of American Craft Exhibition. americanart.si.edu. Smithsonian American Art Museum, Washington, D.C. AmericanJazzMuseum.com, American Jazz Museum, Kansas City, MO. ameslab.gov/tour/notamart.html, National Museum of American Art, Washington, D.C. amherst.edu/mead, Mead Art Museum, Amherst, MA. amnh.org. Amon Carter Museum, cartermuseum.org. Art Design Consultants, Cincinnati, O. adcfineart.com. artbma.org, Baltimore Museum of Art, Baltimore, MD. artcom.com/museum/nv/mr/82601-28.htm, Nicolason Art Museum and Discovery Center, Casper, WY. artcom.com/museums. artforte.com, Artforte Gallery, Seattle, WA. artic.edu, Art Institute of Chicago, Chicago. Museum and artic.edu/Taoism, Taoism and the Arts of China. artic.edu/AIC, The Art Institute of Chicago Museum, Chicago, IL. Arctic.edu/AIC, Art Institute of Chicago, Chicago. Arctic.edu, Art Institute of Chicago. Arctic.edu, Art Institute of Chicago and its online exhibition. Artifact Gallery, NYC, artifacttechnique.net. artmontana.com, Art Montana, Directory of Art Museums, Galleries. artmuseums.harvard.edu, Harvard University Art Museums. arts.muohio.edu/art-museum, Miami University Art Museum, Oxford, O. artsbma.org, Birmingham Museum of Art, Birmingham. artsbma.org, Birmingham Museum of Art, Birmingham, Alabama. artsmea.org, Minneapolis Institute of Arts, Minneapolis, MN. artsmea.org, Minneapolis Institute of Arts, Minnesota. artsmea.org, Minneapolis Institute of Arts. Ashok Jain Gallery, NYC, ashokjaingallery.com. asia.si.edu, Sackler Museum, Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C. asia.si.edu/sanjiyuan/default.asp, Song and Yuan Dynasty Painting and Calligraphy. asia.si.edu, Freer Gallery, Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C. ASEANART.org, Asian Art Museum, San Francisco. asiasociety.org/arts/inside-out, New Chinese Art. asiasocietymuseum.com, Asia Society Museum, New York. asum.fa.asu.edu, Arizona State University Art Museum. asum.fa.asu.edu, Arizona State University Art Museum, Tempe, AZ. atriumgallery.net, Atrium Gallery, St. Louis, MO. augengallery.com, Portland. autrynationalcenter.org/southwest, Southwest Museum, Los Angeles, California. avam.org, American Visionary Art Museum, Baltimore, MD. bampfa.berkeley.edu, Berkeley Art Museum plus Pacific Film Archive, Berkeley, CA. bampfa.berkeley.edu, Berkeley Art Museum plus Pacific Film. bampfa.berkeley.edu, Berkeley Art Museum and Pacific Film Archive. barbarawrightart.com, Barbara Wright, Evergreen, CO. barnesfoundation.org, Barnes Foundation Gallery Art Collection, Marion, PA. The Mariana Kistler. bmecenter.org, Bemis Center for Contemporary Arts, Omaha, NE. bennettgelsart.com, Bennett Glass Art, Poulsbo, WA. berggruen.com, Berggruen Gallery San Francisco. blantonmuseum.org, Blanton Museum of Art, University of Texas, Austin, TX. blantonmuseum.org, Jack S. Blanton Museum of Art, Austin, TX. bocamuseum.org, Boca Raton Museum of Art, Boca Raton, FL. bonecreek.org, Bone Creek Museum of Agrarian Art, David City, NE. bowers.org, Bowers Museum, Santa Ana, CA. bridgetmayergallery.com, Bridget Mayer Gallery Philadelphia. brooklynart.org, Brooklyn Museum of Art. berlingamepezmuseum.com, Berlin Game Pez Museum, Burlingame, California. butlerart.com, Butler Institute of American Art, Youngstown, Ohio. caam.ca.gov, California African American Museum, Los Angeles, CA. cartermuseum.org, Amon Carter Museum, Fort Worth, TX. cartoon.org, International Museum of Cartoon Art, Boca Raton, FL. casasolamuseum.com, Museo Casasola, The Mexico Us History. catalog.noguchi.org/index.php/loginreg/form, Isamu Noguchi Catalog Raison. cathedral.org/cathedral, Washington National Cathedral, Washington, D.C. CAViews.com, California Views Historical Photo Collection, Monterey, CA. CAViews.com, California Views Historical Photo Collection, Monterey, CA. California. ccjac.org, Clark Center for Japanese Art and Culture, Hanford, CA. ceramicsmuseum.alfred.edu, the Montclair Art Museum, Montclair, New Jersey. ceramicsmuseum.alfred.edu, the International Museum of Ceramic Art, Alfred, New York. cernudaarte.com, Coral Gables, FL. chapelgallery.com, Chapel Gallery, New York, New York. charlesandfawcett.com, Charles Fawcett, Bellevue, WA. chazen.wisc.edu, Chazen Museum of Art, University of Wisconsin. chinainstitute.org, China Institute in America, New York. ChinesePainting.seattleartmuseum.org/OSCI, Chinese Painting and Calligraphy. CincinnatiArtMuseum.com, Cincinnati Art Museum, Cincinnati, O. CincinnatiArtMuseum.org, Cincinnati Art Museum. ClemusArt.com, Cleveland Museum of Art, Ohio. ClevelandArt.org, Cleveland Museum of Art. ClevelandArt.org, Cleveland Museum of Art, Cleveland, O. CMOA.org, Carnegie Museum of Art, Pittsburgh, PA. CMOG.org, Corning Museum of Glass, Corning, New York. CMOG.org, Corning Museum of Glass, Corning, New York. CMP.ucr.edu, UCR/California Museum of Photography, Riverside, CA. College of California, Moraga, CA. CalMuseArt.org, Columbia Museum of Art, Columbia, SC. ContemporaryArtCenter.org, the Contemporary Arts Center, Cincinnati, O. ContemporariesTL.org, Contemporary Art Museum St. Louis, MO. Corcoran.org, Corcoran Museum of Art, Washington, D.C. cr.nps.gov, National Park Services links to the past. CrockerArtMuseum.org, Crocker Art Museum, Sacramento, CA. CrowCollection.org, Crow Collection of Asian Art, Dallas, TX. DazHmuseum.org, Dahesh Museum, New York, New York, devoted to 19th century European academic art. DazHmuseum.org, Dahesh Museum, New York, New York. davidrumsey.com/collections/finearts.html #sign Cornell, collection online Cornell University. DecartesOhio.org, Decorative Arts Center of Ohio, at the Reese Peters House, Lancaster, O. DeCordova Museum and Sculpture Park, dedicated to the exhibition, collection, and preservation of works by living New England artists, DeCordova.org. DeCordova.org, DeCordova Museum and Sculpture Park, Lincoln, Massachusetts. DenisLElliott.com, Dennis Elliott, Florida. DenosMuseum.org, Denos Museum Center, Traverse City, MI. DenverArtMuseum.org, Denver Art Museum, Denver, CO. Des Moines Art Center.org, Des Moines Art Center, Des Moines, IA. DeYoung.famsf.org, DeYoung Museum, San Francisco, CA. DIA.org, Detroit Institute of Arts, Detroit, MI. DIA.org, Detroit Institute of Arts, Detroit, Michigan. DIA.org, Detroit Institute of Arts. diacenter.org/bindex.html, dia, Beacon Reggio Galleries, Beacon, New York. diacenter.org, Dia Center for the Arts, New York, New York. DiegoRivera.com, Spanish. DiegoRivera.com/Diego_home_eng.html, Diego Rivera Web. DiegoRivera.com, Diego Rivera Web Museum, dedicated. DinaMatroniGallery.com, Miami. discover.odai.yale.edu/ydc, Yale Digital Commons. dm-art.org, Dallas Museum of Art, Dallas, TX. dm-art.org, Dallas Museum of Art, Texas. durbanzginini.com, Gallery in Miami. elkridgeart.com, Elk Ridge Art Company, Evergreen, CO. elliottbrowngallery.com, Elliott Brown Gallery, Seattle, WA. everhart-museum.org, Everhart Museum, Scranton, PA. exhibits.denverartmuseum.org/ASEANA-RT, Asian Art Department. famsf.org/dayung/index.asp, Dayung Museum, San Francisco, CA. famsf.org, Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco, San Francisco, CA. famsf.org, Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco. getty.edu/art/collection, Getty Museum, Los Angeles. guggenheim.org, Guggenheim Museum, New York. farnsworthmuseum.org, Farnsworth Art Museum, Rockland, Maine. farnsworthmuseum.org/wyeth/wyeth.html, Wyeth Center at Farnsworth Museum, Rockland, ME. farnsworthmuseum.org, Farnsworth Art Museum, Rockland. fenimoreartmuseum.org, Fenimore Art Museum, Cooperstown, New York. fieldmuseum.org, Field Museum, Chicago. fine-arts.org, St. Petersburg Museum of Fine Arts, St. Petersburg, FL. flamuseums.org, Florida Association of Museums. flintarts.org, Flint Institute of Arts, Flint, Michigan. fosterwhite.com, Foster/White Gallery, Seattle. fresnomet.org, the Fresno Metropolitan Museum, Fresno, CA. frick.org, Frick Collection, New York, New York. fryart.org, Fry Art Museum, Seattle, WA. Gainesville. gallerymurtis.net, Gallery Murtis Baltimore, MD. galleryalegria.com, Gallery Allegria, Birmingham, AL. gardnermuseum.org, Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, Boston, MA. getty.edu/museum, J. Paul Getty Museum, Los Angeles, CA. gilcrease.org/virtual.aspx, Gilcrease Museum, the Museum of the Americas, Tulsa, OK. ginnyruffner.com, Ginny Ruffner, Seattle, WA. gitter-yelen.org, Manuan Collection of Japanese Art, Edo period 1615 to 1868. glass-furniture.com, Jill Henrietta Davis, Providence, RI. graymanline.org, Grand Rapids Art Museum, Grand Rapids, MI. gregkusura.com, Greg Kusura Gallery, Seattle. guggenheim.org, Guggenheim Museum, New York City. guggenheim.org/new_york_index.shtml, Guggenheim Museum, New York, New York. guggenheim.org, Guggenheim Museum, New York. Habitat.com, Habitat Galleries, Royal Oak, MI. harn.ufl.edu, Samuel P. Harn Museum, University of Florida. harvardartmuseums.org, Harvard Art Museums, Cambridge, MA, in the. harwoodmuseum.org/index_ff.php, Harwood Museum of Art, Taos, NM. hfmgv.org, Henry Ford Museum and Greenfield Village, Dearborn, Michigan. High.org, High Museum of Art, Atlanta, GA. High.org, High Museum of Art, Atlanta, Georgia. Hirshhorn.si.edu, Hirshhorn Museum and Sculpture Garden, Washington, D.C. Hawkem.org, Hands-on Children's Museum, Olympia, Washington. Holmes.anthropology.museum, Holmes Anthropology Museum, WSU, Wichita, KS. homes.anthropology.museum/southwestpottery/index.html, Southwest Indian Pueblo Pottery. honoluluacademy.org, Honolulu Academy of Arts. honoluluacademy.org, Honolulu Academy of Art, Honolulu, Hi. huntermuseum.org, Hunter Museum of American Art, Chattanooga, TN. huntington.org, Huntington Library, Art Collections and Botanical Gardens, San Marino, CA. iaencad.org/museum/index.php, Institute of American Indian Arts Museum, Santa Fe, NM. icaboston.org, ICA, Institute of Contemporary Art, Boston, MA. icp.org, International Center of Photography Museum, New York, New York. ima-art.org, Indianapolis Museum of Art, Indiana. imamuseum.org, Indianapolis Museum of Art. indiana.edu/ium, Indiana University Art Museum. indianaartsandculture.org, Museum of Indian Arts and Culture, Santa Fe, NM. ipl.si.umich.edu/div/det jazz, Swinging Through Time, The Greystone Museum and the Story of Detroit Jazz. jacksonfineart.com, Jackson Fine Art Atlanta, GA. japansociety.org, Japan Society of New York. geraldmelberg.com, Gerald Melberg Gallery Charlotte, NC. jessicazilvermangallery.com, Jessica Silverman San Francisco. joanneartmangallery.com, Joanne Artman Gallery, New York, New York. joanneartmangallery.com, Joanne Artman Gallery, Laguna Beach, CA New York. jonathanlevinegallery.com, Jonathan Levine Gallery, New York. jocelyn.org, Jocelyn Art Museum, Omaha, NE. jsma.uoregon.edu, Jordan Schnitzer Museum of Art, University of kam.uiuc.edu, Cranert Art Museum, Champaign, IL. University of Illinois at Urbana. kam.uiuc.edu, Cranert Art Museum, Champaign, IL. kansashistory.us/artists, artists in Kansas, Directory of Kansas Art Museums, Centers, Galleries. KarenRuland.com, Ruland Gallery in Santa Fe, NM. KemperArt.org, Kemper Museum of Contemporary Art, Kansas City, MO. KeyArts.org, Kalamazoo Institute of Arts, Kalamazoo, MI. KimballArt.org. KimballArt.org, Kimball Art Museum in Fort Worth, TX. KimballArt.org, Kimball Art Museum, Fort Worth, Texas. kpix.com/fun/museums.html, San Francisco Bay Area Museums. KriegerMuseum.org, Krieger Museum, Washington, D.C. ksu.edu/bma, Beach Museum of Art, KSU, Manhattan, KS. ku.edu/sma, Spencer Museum of Art, University of Kansas. lacma.org, Los Angeles County Museum of Art. lacma.org, Los Angeles County Museum of Art, LACMA, Los Angeles, CA. lacma.org, Los Angeles County Museum of Art. lam.mus.ca.us, Los Angeles Museums, a listing. lachizarboyadjiv.com, Lachizarboyajev, San Rafael, CA. lcweb.loc.gov, Library of Congress, Washington, D.C. learn.columbia.edu/nansuNTU/start.html, recording the grandeur of the Qing, the Southern Inspection Tour Scrolls of the Kangxi and Qianlong Emperors. lesliesachs.com, Leslie Sachs Gallery Santa Monica, CA. lesliesachs.com, Leslie Sachs Gallery in Santa Monica, CA. linotagliapietra.com, Lino Tagliapietra, Murano, Italy, Seattle, USA. lisaharrisgallery.com, Lisa Harris Gallery, Seattle, WA. LorraineAdams.com, Lauren Adams Museum of Fine Art, Lahaina, Hi. lsa.umich.edu/Kelsey, Museum of Archaeology, University of Michigan. luc.edu/Luma, Luma, Loyola University Museum of Art, Chicago, IL. maa.missouri.edu, University of Missouri, Museum of Art and Archaeology, Columbia, MO. maa.missouri.edu, University of Missouri, Museum of Art and mag.rochester.edu, Memorial Art Gallery, University of Rochester. Magnus.org, Judah L. Magnus Museum, Berkeley, CA. mam.org, Milwaukee Art Museum, Milwaukee, WI. mamfw.org, Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, Fort Worth, TX. Meriden.org, Meriden Museum, Butler, PA. Marquette.edu/Haggerty, Patrick and Beatrice Haggerty Museum of Art, Marquette University, Milwaukee, WI. MarkSaunders.com, Mark Saunders Gallery, Ltd., Chicago, IL. MaryHillMuseum.org, Mary Hill Museum of Art, Goldendale, WA. MassMocha.org, MassMocha Museum of Contemporary Art, North Adams, MA. MassMocha.org, Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art. MassMocha.org, Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art, MassMocha. MatthewMarks.com, Matthew Marks Gallery, New York. MCAChicago.org, Museum of Contemporary Art, Chicago, IL. MCASanDiego.org, Museum of Contemporary Art, San Diego, CA. MCASanDiego.org, Museum of Contemporary Art, San Diego. McNayArt.org, McNay Art Museum, San Antonio, TX. mems.edu/Egypt/main.html, Institute of Egyptian Art and Archaeology, Memphis. menil.org/default.html, Menil Collection, Houston, Texas. metmuseum.org, Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. metmuseum.org/special/Kublai-Khan.aspx, The World of Kublai Khan, Chinese Art. metmuseum.org, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. mfa.org, Museum of Fine Arts, Boston. metmuseum.org/html files/gallery/gallery.html, collections. mfa.org, Museum of Fine Arts, MFA, Boston, MA. mfah.org, Museum of Fine Arts, Houston. miami.edu/low, Art Museum, University of Miami, Coral Gables, FL. mimikahalan.com, Mimi Kahalan, Santa Cruz, CA. mjt.org, Museum of Jurassic Technology, Los Angeles, CA. mma.org, Minnesota Museum of American Art, St. Paul, MN. mochaenique.org, Museum of Chinese in America, New York, New York. MoMA.org, MoMA, Museum of Modern Art, New York, New York. nga.gov/content/naweb.html, National Gallery of Art, Washington, D.C. MoMA.org, Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, New York City. monet.unk.edu/Mona, Museum of Nebraska Art, Mona, Kearney, NE. monet.unk.edu/Mona, Museum of Nebraska Art, Mona, Kearney, NE. mappa.org, Museum of Photographic Arts, San Diego, CA. morganglassgallery.com, Morgan Contemporary Glass Gallery, Pittsburgh, PA. morganlibrary.org/index.html, Pierpont Morgan Library, Bothay. morganlibrary.org/index.html, Pierpont Morgan Library, New York City. Morikami.org, Morikami Museum and Japanese Gardens, Delray Beach, FL. Museum, San Jose, California. Museum, Diego Rivera 1886 L957. Museum.cornell.edu, Herbert F. Johnson Museum of Art. Museum.cornell.edu, Herbert F. Johnson Museum of Art, Cornell University. Museum.siu.edu, University Museum, Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, Carbondale, IL. Museum.stanford.edu, Cantor Arts Center, Stanford University. Museum.upenn.edu, University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology, Philadelphia. Museums.iastate.edu, Iowa State University Museums, Ames, IA. Museumswest.org, Museums West Western Museums of North America. myspace.com/SpencerArt, Spencer Museum MySpace SMA YouTube. nasher.duke.edu, Duke University Museum of Art, Durham, NC. nasher.duke.edu, Duke University Museum of Art, Durham. Nasher Sculpture Center.org, Nasher Sculpture Center, Dallas, TX. NC. ncsu.edu/ncma, North Carolina Museum of Art, Raleigh, NC. nd.edu/SNITART, SNITE Museum of Art, Notre Dame, in. nelson-atkins.org, Nelson Atkins Museum of Art, Kansas. nelson-atkins.org, Nelson Atkins Museum of Art, Kansas City, MO. nelson-atkins.org, Nelson Atkins Museum of Art, Kansas City. nermanmuseum.org/welcome, Nerman Museum of Contemporary Art, Overland Park, KS. nevadaart.org, Nevada Museum of Art, Reno, NV. newarkmuseum.org, Newark Museum, Newark, New Jersey. newmuseum.org, New Museum, New York, New York. nga.gov, National Gallery of Art, Washington, D.C. NinaTorresFineArt.com, Nina Torres Fine Art, Miami, FL. nmi.si.edu, National Museum of the American Indian Smithsonian. nmwa.org, National Museum of Women in the Arts, Washington, D.C. noguchi.org, Noguchi Garden Museum, Long Island City, New York. noguchi.org, Isamu Noguchi Garden Museum, Long Island City, New York. noguchi.org, Noguchi Museum, Long Island City, New York. norton.org, Norton Museum of Art, West Palm Beach, FL. nortonsimon.org, Norton Simon Museum, Pasadena, CA. nortonsimon.org, Norton Simon Museum, Pasadena, CA. noisemuseum.org, Noise Museum of Art, Oceanville, NJ. npg.si.edu, National Portrait Gallery. Washington, D.C. Philadelphia-museum.org, Philadelphia Museum of Art. npg.si.edu, National Portrait Gallery, Smithsonian, Washington, D.C. nrm.org, Norman Rockwell Museum at Stockbridge, Stockbridge, MA. ny.com/museums, paperless guide to New York City museums. ny.com/nyc/museums, New York City museums, a listing. nyu.edu/Gray Art, Gray Gallery of Art, New York, New York. oberlin.edu/amam/default.html, Allen Memorial Art Museum, Oberlin College, Ohio. oberlin.edu/amam/default.html, Allen Memorial Art Museum. oberlin.edu/AlenaRT, Allen Memorial Art Museum, Oberlin College, O. OctaviaArtGallery.com, Houston. ogdenmuseum.org, Ogden Museum of Southern Art, New Orleans, LA. o'keefemuseum.org/indexflash.php, Georgia. O'Keefe Museum, Santa Fe, NM. olemis.edu/departments/classics/museums.html, University Museums, University of Mississippi, Oxford, MS. ou.edu/fjjma/collections/photography.html, Fred Jones Jr. Museum of Art Photograph Collection, University of Oklahoma, Norman, OK. Paceprints.com, Paceprints New York/Chelsea. PacificAsiaMuseum.org, Pacific Asia Museum, Pasadena, CA. PAFA.org, Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, Philadelphia, PA. PAM.org, Portland Art Museum, Portland, Oregon. PanAmericanArt.com, Miami. PatriciaCameronGallery.com, Patricia Cameron Fine Art, Seattle, WA. PeacockRoom.wayne.edu, The Story of the Beautiful, James McNeill Whistler's Peacock Room. PEM.org, Peabody Essex Museum, Salem, Massachusetts. PEM.org/library/collections/Offen, Herbert Offen Research Collection on Chinese Furniture, Architecture, and Gardens. PEM.org/Yin Yutang, Yin Yutang, a late Qing Dynasty 1644–1911 house. PEM.org, Peabody Essex Museum, Salem, Ma. Pensacola Museumofart.org, the Pensacola Museum of Art, Pensacola, FL. Pensacola Museumofart.org, the Philadelphia Museum.org, Philadelphia Museum of Art, Philadelphia, PA. Philadelphia Museum.org, Philadelphia Museum of Art. PHXArt.org, Phoenix Art Museum. PlainsArt.org, Plains Art Museum, Fargo, ND. PMCAOnline.org, Pasadena Museum of California Art, Pasadena, CA. PortlandChineseGarden.org, Portland Classical Chinese Garden, Portland, or PortlandMuseum.org, Portland Museum of Art, Portland, ME. Potato Mike, Take Up Art, NYC, PotatoMike.com. PrincetonArtMuseum.org, Princeton University Art Museum. psu.edu/department/Palmer Museum, Palmer Museum of Art, Pennsylvania State University. Research Institute, Los Angeles, 5,400 plus open content images. rfc.museum, Rubel Family Collection/Contemporary Arts Foundation, Miami. RhondaHillGallery.com, Rhonda Hill, Seattle, WA. RiceGallery.org, Rice University Art Gallery, Houston, TX. Ringling.org, Ringling Museum of Art, Sarasota, FL. Ringling.org, John and Mabel Ringling Museum of Art, Florida State. RISDmuseum.org, Rhode Island School of Design Museum, Providence, RI. Armanique.org, Rubin Museum of Art, New York. RMQM.org, Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum, Golden, CO. Rockhall.com, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum, Cleveland, Ohio. Rosicrucian.org/muse-plan/0-museum.html, Rosicrucian Egyptian. Rosicrucian.org/muse-plan/0-museum.html, Rosicrucian Egyptian Museum, San Jose, California. sai.msu.su/cjackson/index.html, CGFA, a virtual art museum. salvadordalimuseum.org/home.html, Salvador Dali Museum, St. Petersburg, FL. sama-art.org, Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art, Sama, Loreto, PA. samfa.org, San Angelo Museum of Fine Arts, San Angelo, TX. San Diego Museum.org, San Diego Museum of Art, San Diego, CA. Sanzen.org, the Berger Sanzen Memorial Gallery, Lindsborg, KS. Sapphira and Ventura Gallery, NYC, artsvgallery.com. Skurrgallery.com, Skurr Gallery, Sedona, AZ. sdmart.org, San Diego Museum of Art. Search.getty.edu/gateway/landing, J. Paul Getty Museum and Getty. SeattleArtMuseum.org, Seattle Art Museum. SeattleArtMuseum.org/visit/visitsAAM.asp, Seattle Asian Art Museum. SeattleChineseGarden.org, Seattle Chinese Garden. sfmoma.org, San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, San Francisco, CA. sfmoma.org, San Francisco Museum of Modern Arts, FMOMA, San Francisco, CA. Sheldon.unl.edu, Sheldon Memorial Art Gallery and Sculpture Garden, Lincoln, NE. si.edu, Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C. si.edu. si.edu, Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C. Simon Gallery, Morristown, New Jersey, simongallery.com. sjmusart.org, San Jose Museum of Art, San Jose, CA. skyways.lib.ks.us/kansas/museums/index.html, Kansas Museums, listing. skyways.lib.ks.us/kansas/museums/index.html, Kansas Museums. slam.org, St. Louis Art Museum. slam.org, St. Louis Art Museum, St. slam.org, St. Louis Art Museum, St. Louis, MO. sma.nebo.edu, Springville Museum of Art, Springville, UT. smartmuseum.uchicago.edu, Smart Museum of Art, Chicago, IL. smartmuseum.uchicago.edu, David and Alfred Smart Museum of Art. smartmuseum.uchicago.edu, Smart Museum, University of Chicago, Chicago, IL. smith.edu/artmuseum, Smith College Museum of Art, Northampton, MA. societyforasianart.org/index.htm, Society for Asian Art. somarts.org, SOM Arts, south of Market Cultural Center, San Francisco, CA. SpaldingNixFineArt.com, Spalding Nix Fine Art Atlanta. SpencerArt.ku.edu, Spencer Museum of Art, University of Kansas, Lawrence, KS. Spiral.org, Contemporary Arts Center, Cincinnati, O. StateMuseum.arizona.edu, University of Arizona Museum of Art. Stephanie's Shawchat Photography.com, Stephanie Shawchat, Seattle, WA. STIA.org, Art Museum of South Texas, Corpus Christi, TX. St. Louis.art.museum, St. Louis Art Museum, ST. stmarys.ca.edu/arts/art_gallery, Hearst Art Gallery, St. Mary's College of California, Moraga, CA. stmarys.ca.edu/arts/art_gallery, Hearst Art Gallery, St. Mary's. sdny.lrun.com/Rockwell Museum, Rockwell Museum, Corning, New York. Museum of Glass, Native American and American Western Art. Swope.org, Swope Art Museum, Terre Haute, in. Tacoma Artmuseum.org, Tacoma Art Museum, Tacoma, WA. Taftmuseum.org, Taft Museum of Art, Cincinnati, O. Turanian Art, Division of Asian and Mediterranean Art. Textilemuseum.org, The Textile Museum, Washington, D.C. The Drawing Room Art Gallery, Coscob, CT, FedreWinGroomHome.com. TheChildren'sMuseum.org, The Children's Museum, Seattle, WA. ThemerRIS.org, Morris Museum of Art, Augusta, GA. THEValors.org, The Walters Art Museum, Baltimore, MD. THEValors.org, Walters Art Museum, Baltimore, MD. Thinker.org, Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco, San Francisco, CA. Thinker.org, Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco. THROCKMORTON-NYC.com, Throckmorton Fine Art New York/Midtown. TibetanMuseum.org, Jacques Marchais Museum of Tibetan Art, New. TibetHouse.us/art-gallery, Tibet House Gallery, New York. Tigtail.org/tvm, Tigertail Virtual Museum. TimkenMuseum.org, Timken Museum of Art, San Diego, CA. ToledoMuseum.org, Toledo Museum of Art, Toledo, O. Towson.edu/ASEANA-RTS, Asian Arts and Culture Center, Towson State University, Towson, MD. University of California. TucsonMuseumofArt.org, Tucson Museum of Art and Historic Block, Tucson, AZ. UMMA.umich.edu, University of Michigan Museum of Art, Ann Arbor, MI. umt.edu/Part V/FAMUS, Museum of Fine Arts, University of Montana, Missoula. upenn.edu/museum, University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology, Philadelphia, PA. upenn.edu/museum, University of Pennsylvania Museum of Archaeology and Anthropology, Philadelphia, PA. utah.edu/umfa, Utah Museum of Fine Arts. uwyo.edu/art museum, University of Wyoming Art Museum, Laramie, WY. uwyo.edu/art museum, University of Wyoming Art Museum. vernonwoodmuseum.com, Vernonwood Museum of Art, Dayton, NV. vmfa.state.va.us/collections/East Asian, Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, Richmond, VA. vmfa.state.va.us, Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, Richmond, Virginia. Wadsworthathenaeum.org, Wadsworth Athenaeum Museum of Art, Hartford, Connecticut. walkerart.org/index.wac, Walker Art Center, Minneapolis, MN. Warhol.org, Andy Warhol Museum, Pittsburgh. Washburn.edu/Mulvane, Mulvane Art Museum of Washburn University, Topeka, KS. wcma.williams.edu/modules/modern-and-contemporary-Chinese-art, modern and contemporary Chinese art. wcma.williams.edu, Williams College Museum of Art. web.guggenheim.org/exhibition/pages/void/index.html. webs.wichita.edu/?view Ulrich, Ulrich Museum of Art, WSU, Wichita, KS. weissmann.umn.edu, Weissmann Art Museum, University of Minnesota, Minneapolis, MN. weissmann.umn.edu, Frederick R. Weissmann Art Museum, University of Minnesota, Minneapolis. weissmann.umn.edu, Frederick R. Weissmann Art Museum, University of Minnesota, Minneapolis. whitehouse.gov/wh/tours/welcome.html, White House Virtual. Whitney.org, Whitney Museum of American Art, New York City. Whitney.org, Whitney Museum. WichitaArtMuseum.org, Wichita Art Museum, Wichita, KS. WorcesterArt.org, Worcester Art Museum, Worcester, Massachusetts. Yale.edu/YCBA, Yale Center for British Art, New Haven, CT. Yale.edu/Art Gallery, Yale University Art Gallery, New Haven, CT. Yellowstone.artmuseum.org, Yellowstone Art Museum, Billings, MT.